if you're not creating a personal brand and leveraging media and digital marketing and social media, that you're eventually going to be invisible and irrelevant and likely go out of business.
Let's dive right into the topic of the episode, which is future-proofing your business. So would you define for us what that means and why it's so important to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I personally believe that, you have to look at yourself as a media company. And I'm saying myself as a human, is kind of the parent or the holding company for everything that I do. And that obviously trickles down into my different businesses, and Sabre being one of those. So, I believe that in order to thrive in this digital world, and I've been saying this for a long time, well before the pandemic, that if you're not creating a personal brand and leveraging media and digital marketing and social media, that you're eventually going to be invisible and irrelevant and likely go out of business. So I've always referred to that as future-proofing yourself or future-proofing your business.
Excellent. And so what's the number one secret you have found to do just that?
When people know you, they have the opportunity to like you and trust you, and that means you have a good chance of doing business with them.
And how are you best doing that today, Jay? What are some of the things that you can think that commercial real estate brokers are not doing, right? Or business professionals are not doing, right? And maybe even we can probably talk about it. It's going to be video, it's going to be podcast, right? But more so, what's the one biggest secret to overcome the false belief or whatever the challenge has? What were yours in the beginning, right? Tell us your story from traditional broker, right? Yep. Stephen Richard Ellis to marketing, and what you do now online.
Yeah, for sure. So, when I got into the business, I realized pretty quickly that, you kind of, or I felt, I should say, that you had to act a certain way, look a certain way, regardless of what your likes or interests are in commercial real estate, very traditional industry. I was a DJ, nightclub promoter, very creative, into music, fashion, streetwear, street culture, things of that nature. So I felt like I had to kind of act a certain way in order to fit in and get, earn success in the industry. And then over the years, I started to realize that, my strengths were actually, and my superpowers, as you mentioned earlier, were actually all about my uniqueness, right? So the more that I got comfortable becoming myself in business, the more I excelled and the more success I achieved. So, it got to a certain point where, I was able to, by starting my own company, I was able to, really lean heavily into that, and also attract like-minded people who felt like they didn't necessarily belong at these larger, corporate commercial real estate brokerage companies. And from there, I started to really pay attention to what folks like Gary Vaynerchuk and Ryan Serhant were doing, Ryan on the residential side. And I had the good fortune of spending time with Gary and Ryan and talking about just the traditional brokerage model and, what we all thought would happen over time. And I was very much of the mindset that where you hang your license over time wouldn't matter as much in the event that you knew how to, develop your own brand, had the resources and the tools in order to be good at what you do. You could very much, be entrepreneurial and work for yourself, essentially. And, later on, that EXP component came in very handy when partnering with them to kind of take all of that to another level. This world, even before the pandemic, I was betting heavily on a very agent-first, cloud-based offering in the brokerage business. And by the way, I also always looked at the term broker as almost a four-letter word. I think it's a derogatory term because, I'm more of a trusted advisor, the same way that a financial advisor would be to my clients. So, I believe in doing the right thing and always putting your clients first. And, at this stage, I'm fortunate to be able to, more or less pick and choose which clients that I want to, work with and so on and so forth. But, it's an exciting time for all of those reasons, because I think, a lot of people show up as a different version of themselves at home with their family, out having beers with friends, with clients, in the car, site touring, etc. And I think that the pandemic fast forwarded a lot of the things that we were doing at Sabre already.
Yeah, Jay, I connect with that so much, and I absolutely love your story, right? Of